Welcome to Cope Institute. In this episode, we will be looking at the needs within an individual, the needs within the community, and the needs within the global village. Sometimes it's difficult to draw a line between the wants and the needs, but in Cope Institute, we'll be looking at the things that we can be able to remove in a person's life or to remove from the community so that we can make it easier for that person to develop or that community to develop. We may also be looking at the things that we can do to add value to a person or to a community. Sometimes we may need to look at things that we may need to share. They normally say that once a problem is shared, it can be easier to handle. So we will be looking at things that can be shared, maybe physical things, maybe spiritual things, or just things that can be able to be shared and make it easier for another person. Even food, if you can share food, you're able to help another person in some way. Sometimes we may be looking at how we can multiply the things or the resources we have so that it makes it easier for me or for you to be able to live a fairly comfortable life. And sometimes we may be looking at the products or the things we're going to get out of developing or out of moving from one level to the next level. And sometimes we may need to cut out things that don't give us results or things that don't give us good results. In the past episode, we were able to look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And the bottom level, we were able to see that we need physiological things, the physiological needs. And among them is to have a functional body, to be able to have a healthy body. And then maybe the next item, to take care of the body, we may need food and shelter. The body needs to have good rest and good sleep. Just like we may have personal needs, the community also has its basic needs. For example, we need to live in a functional society. We need food and water. We need housing. We need healthy environment. We also need to be able to work and have an economical balance. Because as we can see on the political map, some areas of the world are more developed than the other. They have a better economical balance. But that doesn't mean that they wouldn't be affected if something happened to a group of people somewhere else. As we look back on the economic turndown recently, we can be able to see that something that happened in the US and in Europe can be able to affect what is happening in Africa. Each part of the world has its own levels of poverty, even the rich countries. But the ways in which to deal with these poverty levels sometimes can be difficult. Both personal and societal needs, once met, we can be able to develop from one level to the next one. The most obvious causes of underdevelopment, which I may just mention a few, within a person, maybe we could find unmanageable habits, misuse and abuse of self, and sometimes by others, diseases, lack of direction, illiteracy, personal internal and external conflicts, and so on. And within the community also, we find a similar trait. We may find that there's mismanagement of land, misuse and mismanagement of resources, both human and natural resources. Disease is also a major problem within the communities. Then we may find another problem in lack of infrastructure and illiteracy in general. And we have conflicts. But then how do we cope? If I may go back to an earlier episode, I said we got to learn how to self-manage. Choose things or choose to do something, but knowing that we are interdependent. Then we got to be competent as well as practice integrity. We also need to be able to bring these things within our community so that we can have a good control good management of resources, follow laws and legislations, be able to work together, and still practice integrity, the community integrity. In summary, as we have seen from the 2 episodes, it starts from the individual, then it's extended to the community, and finally maybe to the global community. So whether we have needs as an individual, these needs can be reflected within our community, and the needs in the community can also be reflected back into the global community. And so if we try to solve needs starting from the individuals, then we can be able to come to the community and solve those issues that we have, and then the global issues also can be dealt with. And until next time, it's goodbye for now. Thank you for listening.